Previously on the Percy Jackson review. And now, this.
Hey guys, Matt here, bringing you the latest in movie reviews. And today, I'm taking a look at Percy Jackson's Sea of Monsters. I know I said this in the last Percy Jackson review, but this time I am really not going to print out every little thing the movies changed from the books, after I realized the movies had already set a low standard for adaptation, and after I had gotten all my complaining out when I saw the movie. That's not how it happened in the books! They are destroying Percy Jackson! You shut up! So anyways, who's in this movie? Well, it's got much of the cast from the first movie, and in this movie, we get Glimmer, Rupert Giles, the scientist from Captain America the First Avenger, and Captain Hammer. What's it about? Well, Percy Jackson's back at Camp Half-Blood, with all his friends, fellow Half-Bloods, and teachers, including Clarice, who was in the first book but not in the first movie, but everybody seems to remember her, and Mr. D, aka Dionysus, the god of wine, who was in the first book but not the first movie, but everyone seems to remember him. But Camp Half-Blood is left vulnerable when their force field is destroyed when the tree that used to be a dead camper is poisoned. I swear, this stuff makes much more sense in the books. So in order to save the camp, Clarice is sent to head a quest to find the Golden Fleece, which can heal the tree of its poison. But Clarice screws it up, so Percy and his friends set out to finish the quest and rescue her. And this time, Percy isn't only joined by his best friends Annabeth and Grover, but also by his recently discovered Cyclops half-brother Tyson. Oh my god, is that what Tyson looks like in this movie? That's horrifying! What's he supposed to look like in the books? Oh, that's not so bad. He looks kinda cute, like a big, one-eyed baby. My god, he looks like a Geico caveman that went swimming in nuclear waste! Moving on. I'm gonna have nightmares about that tonight. Yes, you are. But, as it turns out, Luke, the evil half-blood son of Hermes from the first movie, is still alive. Shocker. And he's also after the Golden Fleece so that he can use it to resurrect his master Kronos, the king of the Titans. Okay, I said I wasn't gonna nitpick about this movie, but this one is justified. The movie states that Kronos' body was destroyed by his sons Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades, whereas in real-life Greek mythology, Zeus was the only one to defeat Kronos after he had already eaten all of his other children. I'm fine with the film screwing up things from the source material, i.e. the books, but when you build a movie and a universe based on Greek mythology, you had at least better get the actual mythology right. Also, why does Kronos look like the devil in this movie? I mean, I know he's the ultimate evil and all, but couldn't you go with a more original design?
What was that about the ultimate evil?
Oh, cut it out, Philip. That running gag's dead.
Not as dead as you're going to be if you don't release me from this prison.
Oh, Philip, you're adorable. So Percy and friends engage in a perilous journey into the Sea of Monsters to retrieve the Golden Fleece, all the while going through some rushed character development, such as Annabeth learning to become less racist against Cyclopses. Yes, daughter of the goddess of wisdom and a racist. Those things always go hand in hand. Also, Percy is the son of the sea god Poseidon, so why doesn't he use his waterbending powers more often? Did he just forget about them half the time? They give some bullcrap explanation that the Sea of Monsters isn't in Poseidon's domain, but last I checked, the Sea of Monsters was still water, and as long as hydrogen is chemically bonded with oxygen, I think that counts as in Poseidon's domain. So final verdict, 7 out of 10. This movie is only slightly better than the first one, but only because they changed a few things they screwed up in the first movie, like the inclusion of Clarice and Mr. D, Annabeth actually being blonde this time, Nathan Fillion as Hermes, but the changes they made this time weren't as noticeable. Until the last 30 minutes of the movie, where they actually had the nerve to... Sorry about that, lost my cool, not supposed to reveal spoilers, I just got a little miffed that they actually thought it was a good idea to Alright, I'm cool. Also, it's kind of hard to explain, but the movies don't really capture the feel of the Percy Jackson series. The books had a sense of fun and wonder, they were modern but not too modern, and they were funny in their own quirky way. The movies try to be darker and grittier, try to be too modern, and the only way they ever try to be funny is through crude or otherwise just plain stupid humor. The Percy Jackson books made sure to differentiate themselves from other teen fantasy books, whereas the movies make no such promises, turning them into every other teen fantasy movie out there. I'm just glad Chris Columbus jumped ship in this movie, because I'd probably lose what little faith I had left in him if he returned to direct this thing. Instead, it was directed by this German guy who directed the first Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie, which I wasn't overly fond of, and thus nothing of value was lost. Well, Internet people, that's my opinion. Take it or leave it. I'm gonna go lie down for a little bit. I'll see you. Ah! Oh, that is gold. I'll have to use that more often. You know, you're a real jerk, Dreamcaster. Sticks and stones may break my bones. Blah! Ah! Good night, everybody.